Hey everybody, it's Brick Waffle here, and today I am very excited to be back with you. I'm in a new area of the world. I went a little further away from home, as you can probably tell by the fact that there's no snow here. And you might be able to hear the nether portal sound in the distance, but here we go. Once this loads, you can see I've done a little bit of work so far. I've got a little bridge in, some stairs, some sugarcane and trees, and then these two little buildings. So this is our nether portal, and that connects us up to the nether network and our railway. Home is about 1,100 blocks that way, so we're pretty far north. And I built this little house. I didn't do this on camera because this is a modification of a house that Keralis originally built for a 6x6 design challenge. But I wanted something kind of modern themed. I know the birch and the sandstone's a little bit weird, especially with the creeper pattern here, but I think it looks pretty good. And this little area is starting to look really nice. But that is not why I'm here. This is a temporary house where I can sleep while I'm working on the bigger project. So in the last video, I asked everybody for some comments on what I should be doing next, and I got a couple of replies, one from Torcata about doing a modern area. So here you can see that I have mined out a big chunk of mesa and gotten a lot of ink, and I've put in a lot of roads here, a lot of stone bricks. And I didn't want to do all this on camera because honestly it is super boring to watch somebody put in roads on camera. But what I've also done here that I think you guys might like is I put in some signs for where I want to build some things. So I'm going to put in a house here, and this is all going to be fairly modern themed. A couple of houses here as well. And let's see, a house there. So yeah, this first area is going to be kind of the entrance to the neighborhood, so to speak. There's not really going to be anything on this stretch just because it's kind of got a beachfront cliffside there. Over here we are going to have a bank. And let me just use an ender pearl to make this a little bit faster. Don't have anything really planned for this area yet, but if we come up here a little ways, we have some plans for this side, which is going to be a park or playground. You can see I've got my statue back over here looking out in the distance, looking out for the town. This area here we're not really going to do a whole lot with. I don't know why I threw that. We're not going to do a whole lot with because it's just kind of beachfront. We might do something up here, but probably just a few decorative pieces. Over this way, again, same thing here. There's not a lot of space to work with, so we probably won't be doing much on this part. But on this side, we're going to be putting in a school. And then if we come over here, and let's see, can we get over to this side? Yep, let's try that. We'll just go back down this street for now. This is going to be an office building, and let's come across here. Got some signs in the grass here. This is going to be another house, all modern houses. This area right up here, though, this is the big one. This huge area right here is going to be Waffleton Heights. This is going to be a big modern apartment building. So I'm really looking forward to doing that one. I think that's going to be a big project, and hopefully we'll get started on that today, at least getting the size of it figured out. Over here we're going to have a natatorium, which is basically an indoor swimming area. And then over here we're going to have a clubhouse next to the natatorium. So this is going to be an area for the people in the apartments to go hang out and do stuff. And then over here, a fire station. And then I believe this sign over here is a police station. Yep, there we go. That was a much better throw. And then over here, we're going to have a clinic. So we've got all the basic needs that our imaginary villagers will need. And we've also got this area back here, which is just my statue. You guys saw me build this in the previous server, and I've got a tutorial on how to build one of these on your own. The only thing I did a little differently was I put one arm down and one arm pointing out with the outstretched fingers, so hopefully that looks pretty good. He'll be keeping an eye on the town for us. And we didn't have a whole lot of trees here. I did do a little bit of landscaping or terraforming or whatever you want to call it. Got a couple of trees here, a couple of trees here, and we probably have to dig out some of this stuff and replant trees when we're done. But we've obviously got plenty of spruce wood to work with. We do have some oak and birch in the background, and one of the things I did on this side was, you can see I planted some jungle trees. I've got birch, I've got oak, I have a dark oak, and I have acacia back there. So we should have all the different wood materials that we need. And then in this nether area, and I really need to stop doing that before I eat again, we've got some supplies. So we've got lots of hardened clay, a bunch of white stained clay, some diorite, a few odds and ends here. We've got a bunch of blocks of iron and blocks of glass, and we've got a bunch of stone and stone bricks. So we should be pretty well set up to start on this project, and I'm going to go look at a couple of designs for some inspiration, figure out how much room I can spend on the apartment building, and then I will get back to you guys when I have a footprint for that. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got the first floor done. I know I said I was just going to do the footprint, but I started out with some different materials. You might be able to recognize that from here. You can hear some zombies underground. It means there's a cave nearby. I decided to go with prismarine. I tried a bunch of different materials. I used quartz. I used, well, quartz, I didn't have a whole lot of quartz, so that was going to be kind of challenging. I used some stone slabs for the actual basic building material, but that just looked like too many lines here. I used some clay, that didn't really work, but I think prismarine looks outstanding, and for us that's a renewable resource since we do have the Guardian farm. So we're just starting to see the shape of the first floor here. We got these corners with the slabs. I think that adds a little bit of texture and dimension. We've got this little outcropping here that's going to show up for us. And then inside we've got, maybe you can see this is black stained glass and light gray stained glass. So it gives us a little bit of different pattern there. And the parking lot in the back is going to look really nice. We're just going to have to kind of do a bit here. And we'll probably want to bring a sidewalk around the whole thing, just so we don't have just the curb here. We're going to bring a sidewalk around the entire perimeter. So let me walk you through. We'll go ahead and come in through the garage door, and then I'll show you what it looks like from the front. I did use a lot of sea lanterns for lights, but again, those are renewable resources. So in here, we've got them in the ceiling. I'm not real happy about these right here. I might cover these up with a painting or something like that. We'll see what it goes, or how it goes, but that gives us a lot of light in here. And the real challenge is because this is a 4-high room, putting lights in the ceiling means you have to have a lot of them to cover the floor, make sure there's no spots that are at 7. So this is one small apartment. We can have a little kitchen area back there, bathroom in here, living room and bedroom. It'll kind of be a studio style apartment. And there's another one in the front of the building, but let's go ahead and look to the left first. This is a slightly larger apartment. So you have a front room out here, a back room here, and a bathroom in here. So you can actually break this up. We'll probably put in some interior walls. And then across the way here, we've got another apartment that's a reasonable size. This is another kind of studio apartment. And then same thing, bathroom here with a sizable bathroom. So this side of the building is going to be 2 studio apartments. And then on this side, we'll actually have some suites. So people have some options here. And then, of course, the stairwell is just stone bricks. You can see it goes up. And again, lanterns in the floor is fine. This is the trick, though, because I have lanterns in the ceiling and I don't want them in the floor, every floor is actually going to be too thick. So when you come up here, you won't see any of that in the floor space. Now, I will have to come down and put some prismarine back in. Again, I filled it all up with spruce for a while, just so you can see what it looks like. And we can continue this up as many stories as we want. The good news is, we've got tons of stone. We have infinite prismarine. We have pretty much infinite spruce with all these trees back here. So everything we do is very renewable for me. So I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this. I'm going to show you guys what I've got when I have a little bit of the dividing lines inside done. We got the sidewalk done out here. But first, I wanted to go ahead and do a little bit of planting. So I thought in the front I would probably just plant a couple of spruce trees. But what I want to do before I do that is actually get a little bit more dirt. So let's take this out. We'll get some of this, because what I want to try and do is make a ring to get a taller spruce tree. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this trick before or not, but it generally works. Sometimes you have to use glass. I don't think that's really required. But what we're going to do is basically put a ring out so that when the tree grows up, it pretty much has to grow tall. So we have to do this, and then put our ring up here. And then we have to take out some blocks there, and of course the one in the middle. And then we need to put our spruce tree there, and hopefully that will mean it will go up a little bit more. I don't have any bone meal on me, which would be great. If I go back and kill those skeletons, I'll do that. But that's what we're going to start with, is that tree, and when we're done, we'll probably put some gravel around the bottom of it, that sort of thing. We might actually use a water bucket and do a little water feature there. We're going to do something similar in the back, but we're going to use oak saplings, and we're going to try and get a couple of big ones there. So let's start right about here-ish. So that's going to make a plus sign. Then we're going to take out that block, whoops, that block, and that block. There we go. And we're going to plant that sapling, and we'll do another one over here, same sort of way. Let's see, probably try it. I don't want it to be exactly even, so let's do this. And we'll have to take that block out. And put that one here, and then take that out. And I did not bring another oak sapling, so let's go ahead and grab one of those. I'll get some bone meal. Hopefully I will catch you guys shortly, and you can see what I've done in the meantime. Alright, so I've just slept, and I'm going to walk downstairs, and I'm going to show you some of the progress I've made. I was able to make the rest of the floors for this apartment complex. I'm purposely going to be coy and not show you yet, because when you come up over the hill, you can see it in the corner of the screen. Boom. That looks awesome from back here. I'm really, really happy with the way that turned out. So we are going to take a look through there real quick. I'm definitely going to have to find that cave because I hear that same zombie every time I come by. But we do have a big tree up front. We have a 4-story apartment complex with 3 per floor, so we've got 12 apartments in here. That's going to be fantastic. That and the houses we put over here, this place is going to look really good. So I'm really happy with this big spruce tree, and if we come around to the front here, you can see that we've got our front doors, and that actually kind of looks like those windows are open, but that is black stained glass. We might change that up at some point, but right now I'm going to keep it. It looks pretty good, and even if it looks like some of the windows are open, I think that's okay. We've got our decorations, And let's come around the back side here. We'll just throw an ender pearl, save ourselves a little bit of running. Okay, back here we've got a couple of trees, a little pond with some gravel, some flowers here and there. And we've got some flower boxes on the back side, a little bit of detail in here. And let's go ahead and go into the building. We'll go in through the parking lot area. We still haven't done anything with the parking lot. I know I need to do that, and I have not decorated anything on the inside yet. So we've seen all this before. We've got the bathrooms, the apartments. The only thing that's different is I actually went ahead and closed off the roof. I think 4 stories is perfectly fine. So let's go up to the roof here. And I'm just going to zigzag backwards. I know this is not normally how you go up a staircase, but I don't want to just keep spinning around on camera. I think that might make a few people dizzy. So here we go at the very top. There's a ladder with the roof access hatch, and we come up here. And this is all walled off and lit up too, so nothing should spawn up here. And in the future we might add some things to the roof level as well. Again, because we have 2-level roofs, we could take some of this out and put something else in. It's not like this is going to ruin the ceiling of the person below us. And these lights are really just here, like I said, to keep monsters from spawning, so we can move that stuff around if we like. Okay, so going back down, I know obviously there's a lot of work to do, and I've got to put in some doors up here. I didn't do that part yet either. I've got some doors to put in, I've got some furniture to do, but otherwise the building structurally is largely complete. So I'm going to go ahead and put those doors in and do a little detail work on the parking lot. I'm definitely not going to furnish this episode. I do want to show you guys a couple of other things that I have planned, and this will probably be, for all of the time I've been building, it'll actually be a fairly short episode, so hopefully you guys are okay with that. I just wanted to give you some updates, and I'm going to keep doing this as I get the individual buildings and areas put together. So, I'll be right back. Alright, so you can see from the rooftop I've put in some street lights, and I've got the materials to make a bunch more of these. The nice thing about 1.8 with daylight sensors is they can be toggled so that they are basically darkness sensor. These come on at night, and they stay on, and they look a lot nicer than just having levers. They are, however, a lot more expensive. But let's go ahead and go down there. I see that one light is out. I do have one lever left. That's probably the thing I forgot to place. I'm going to use one of these real quick to just get up here. Whoops. Or I'll get an endermite. Oh, hey, and I don't have my sword on me. Why don't you get out of here, guy? Alright. So let's try that again. There we go. So we can look out down here. We've got some street lights there. We've got some along the edges in the front. See if I can walk along here. If I fall off and die, that would be unfortunate, but not unexpected. There's a street light at that corner, and then we've also got some here at the other side. Let's try this. This is as close as I get to parkour, folks. It's down there by that corner as well. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek over at the parking lot. Fix that, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a few more of these street lights in. Now that's a perfect shot. Why can't I do that all the time? Let's see. So right down here, and I know, there we go. That guy. And let's put the lever in. And where'd the dirt go? There's some dirt. And, oops. Nope, that guy. Okay, so we should be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and do a bunch of these street lights. As you can see, I did open this up. I wanted to have the sidewalk go across the parking lot here. I'm not really sure if you can tell that that's supposed to be the curb and that's supposed to be the sidewalk. I might just open this up at some point. Or certainly open up a gap here in the middle would be the easiest thing to do. So how far across is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So if I go 5 and then I take out these in the middle, 1, 2, 3, and get some stained clay, that should be okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 from that side, 1, 2, 3, 4 from that side. Yeah, that should work. Well, no, it's going to be 4 wide. We'll figure it out. There we go. These come off only at noon, so they sense daylight and they go off when they get a full strength day signal and on the rest of the time. So they are off in the middle of the day, but that's only for a minute or two altogether. Alright, so like I said, I'll put a bunch of these in and I will be back with you guys here shortly. Just a brief update to show you what 64 streetlights looks like. I put these about 10 apart. Not all of them are exactly even. I'm not going to worry about that too much, but they are mostly on this side, for example, is all 10 apart. In the corner, I just stuck another one and went 10 apart, and sometimes it's worked out fairly well, sometimes it hasn't. I'm trying to keep them parallel when I can, and I did take out a few on this side. I just went ahead and put those sea lantern blocks down, since that's how the apartments are lit up anyway, and we've got the light from the redstone that really kind of fades in with the quartz blocks here. The redstone lamps look great, and if we come around this side, you can see that it's going to be fairly well lit up. We do have some torches down that side. We'll probably bring a few torches up the staircase, but once we hit this actual road, it's going to be all kind of redstone modern lighting. Or sea lanterns also would make pretty good street lights, but I think the redstone's kind of nice, and they do come on and off automatically. But saving a few on this side using the sea lanterns gave me a few more to carry around, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going to go ahead and carry on. I've got one more thing I want to do for this episode, and I'll be back with you guys when I'm ready to show it off. Alright, so you know how I should have learned my lesson by now. Whenever I say I'm not going to do this in a video or I am going to do it and then things change after a few hours, well, this is one of those times. So I said I wasn't going to decorate any of the interior, but I really couldn't help myself. I wanted to show you guys what the first floor would look like. I definitely have not done the rest of these floors, but right now I wanted to show you a couple of these studio apartments. So in here we've got a bed and a little bit of kind of end tables here with some flowers and a painting, kind of a coffee table over to one side, or a little breakfast table. We've got a bigger couch over here with a TV and a carpet, a nice kitchen area, and then in the bathroom, some blue stained glass and a hopper on the floor for a drain, nice little shower there, toilet, sink, cabinet. One thing I did do with all of these apartments, because most apartment complexes use the same contractors when they're building, all the cabinetry and the shower stalls and all that stuff is exactly the same between apartments. It's the same sort of materials, it's just laid out a little bit differently. And I think that helps it actually feel a little bit more like a real apartment complex. So if we go down to the other semi-studio apartment on this side, you can see we've got another big carpet, a little side table here with a cactus on it, some acacia furniture here, another TV, and then this one has the bed kind of off in the corner, so if you're in bed you can't really see the door, and you don't have windows right here, but somebody could be walking by and seeing your window. I think that still looks okay, and this armor stand, it kind of looks like an easel to me, so hopefully you guys see that as well. And same thing with the bathroom in here, there's a little bit of a painting, and then a shower that's slightly bigger in here. And everything is, like I said, it's very similar. Hopefully this gives you a good idea of what you can do. And then the big apartment at the very end, let's go take a peek in there. And here we've got a much bigger sectional and another TV with some extra bookshelves, a carpet, a small kitchen actually for a big apartment. We do have a dedicated kind of breakfast table over here. We have another bathroom in this way, very similar to the other ones, and the toilet kind of around the corner. And then an actual separate bedrooms. That's the nice thing about this one. We've got a lot more space for storage, for floating shelves, and a nice bed over here, another couch for relaxing, and a desk with a computer on it. So this is what it looks like when it's all furnished up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And I really should know better by now than to say, oh, I'm not going to have time to do that in this video. It took a lot longer to put this together than I expected. I know that you guys, from your point of view, it's probably a fairly short video, but that's because I'm terrible at building on camera. I try not to do that very often. Watching me derp around probably isn't that exciting. I feel like maybe we should put some kind of mailboxes here or something. I'll have to figure out how to do that. But yeah, anyway, if you did like this video, please do give it a like. If you really enjoyed it, then please subscribe. And as always, I've been Brick Waffle. Thank you for watching.